Hello and welcome. I am Gary MacDonald, your 2021 Reno Sparks Association of Realtors President, and thank you for joining me today for another episode of To the Point. This month we are discussing fair housing. To help us better understand this important topic is our special guest, Katherine Zook of Silver State Fair Housing. Kate, you have been with Silver State Fair Housing since 1990. How did you manage to do that?
Pure dumb luck, Gary. I fell into this job and really came for 3 months to help a poor little nonprofit out. Love what I do and am able to keep getting us funded so that we can promote equal housing opportunity all through the state of Nevada.
So congratulations for being there and doing such good work for so long. So tell us, what do current protections under fair housing laws look like?
Fair housing laws, both federal Fair Housing Act and the state of Nevada, protect people against discrimination in the provision of housing, terms and conditions in housing based on their race, color, religion, national origin, their sex, that includes gender and sexual orientation and gender identity, familial status, presence of children under the age of 18, and disability.
Wow. That encompasses quite a bit.
It does.
Now, we've had an interesting past year. I'll say interesting to remove words like trying or challenging and things like that. But can you tell us more about what is currently going on with housing, with Asians and Pacific Islanders in our marketplace?
Sure. I think that throughout the country, we have seen an uptick in harassment of Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders being blamed for bringing COVID to the country, being scrutinized differently from other people, whether that's in a rental transaction, whether it's neighbor-to-neighbor interactions, whether it's somebody who doesn't want Asians in their business office because they think they're going to carry COVID. None of which is true, but it's being acted out in our community and communities across the country.
Wow, amazing. So let's change the topic a little bit. What does sexual harassment in housing look like today in today's market?
It looks bad. It looks bad. Sex harassment in housing can take many different forms, but basically what it comes down to is a housing provider has a lot of control over somebody who's looking for housing, somebody who's in a current housing situation, and any time that housing services are predicated on sexual favors, of course, would be illegal harassment. But also making comments to people about their appearance, about what I'd like to do with you, any of those types of things would also be sex harassment. And when people owe money and they can't pay it, very often they may be bullied or they may be asked for sexual favors to make up for that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you're seeing this at your workplace?
We do see it and we do hear about it, yes.
Okay. Final question. What are some responsible accommodations that people need to make for people with disabilities?
Oh, huge topic. Number one complaint that goes to HUD, more than half of the work that we do. And what we have found this past year is people are staying home more. And that has resulted in recognizing, say, that I don't have proper accessibility, and I may ask my landlord or I may ask the HOA to allow me to put in a ramp or widen my driveway to get accessibility. And one of the things that we've seen over and over are people who are isolated and may need some companionship from an emotional support animal, a therapy animal, a service animal, and those requests in our office at least have increased quite a bit.
So with people who are locked up and they have some emotional issues and things, I've heard that more and more are being prescribed emotional support animals. Not all HOAs, not all housing doctrines allow for comfort animals. Can you address that quickly with us?
Yes, unlike the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Fair Housing Act says emotional support animals, service animals, assistive animals, any animal that provides service or just a relationship with someone with a disability would be covered by fair housing. And with documentation, if the disability is not obvious, with documentation from a reliable third party, the housing provider should waive no pets policies, pet deposits, pet rents, and in some cases, even restrictions on weight and breed.
So Kate, thank you so much for being here today. As we kind of get ahead of the curve on inoculations and vaccinations, and COVID can maybe take a little bit of a back seat, are you seeing a light at the end of the tunnel as far as relaxing some of these issues and less complaints and things to your office?
I hope so. I think that there will be, I think there are going to be challenges ahead of us as eviction and lending moratorium go away, and we have to assist people in finding housing. But I think that some of these really compelling issues that we've been having during COVID, while they may not disappear, they may return to levels that we've seen in the past.
Well, thank you, Kate. Kate Zook, thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for joining me today for this special segment of April's To The Point video series. Join us next week when Sarah Scattini, 2021 President-elect, and Joe Reisenauer, 2021 Fernley Director, present the market report in our next segment in the To The Point video series. Thank you again for joining me today, and I'll see you next time when we get to the point. Have a great day.